Hello and welcome back to the podcast. So I was a speaker a little while ago at PropX back in, I would guess, October, September. Toby Martin's probably listening into this, rolling his eyes, thinking that wasn't the correct month, but I'm sorry, Toby, in advance. And one of the speakers on the day was Daniel Daggers. Now, whether you've seen Daniel's Netflix series or not, Selling London, you've got to hand it to him. There's not many estate agents out there who have their own show on Netflix. So credit where credit is due, he's absolutely smashed it out of the park. And one thing that Daniel actually talked about on the day, so he was interviewed by Simon Ledbetter, friend of the show, and one of the topics he talked about was securing your digital real estate online. And this has really stayed with me. I couldn't, I mean, Daniel probably spoke on stage for half an hour or so. I couldn't tell you what 29 minutes of it was all about. But for that 1 minute where he talked about securing your digital real estate, it really, really stayed with me. So I'm going to talk you through kind of what that is and how that looks. So to demonstrate this, I'm going to tell you a bit of a personal story, if that's okay. So, for avid followers of my social media account, the future Mrs. Webb makes an appearance at weekends. We do personal posts at the weekend, and so she makes an appearance now and again on there. So, we've been engaged for the last 2 years or so, which is, I'm very aware, relatively long-ish in the grand scheme of engagements. Most people get married a year or two after getting engaged. We haven't even booked anything yet at all, or even looked at a single venue. I'm very lucky that I'm quite laid back about it, and I'm also very, very lucky that Bronte is also quite laid back about it. I kind of figure both love each other, not going anywhere, so sort of what's the hurry on that side of things? Now, a little story in tangent with that. About 2 years ago, literally when we did get engaged, we were away on a very long sort of holiday, traveling, sabbatical sort of situation. I managed to get sunburn on one of my ears quite badly on a day. Nothing spectacular, but it was sunburned quite badly. And over the last 2 years or so, hasn't really healed all that well. Kind of healed, not healed, etc. Bear with me here, by the way. This is going to be very relevant to your estate agency business very shortly. And eventually, after a long period of nagging, my partner Bronte said to me, right, go to the doctors, have a chat with them. And I kind of rolled my eyes and went, okay, if I have to, sort of thing. So long story short, doctors referred me to the nice people at the cancer department, and nothing will make you, excuse the swearing, shit the bed, like getting a letter from the NHS saying we've booked you an urgent appointment with the cancer department. So I thought I had all the time in the world to book my wedding. And when you get a letter like that through the mail, you kind of, your heart stops slightly and you think, oh my God, I haven't got all the time in the world. Let's get on with this. And within 2 weeks, we've booked going to see venues, we've got things lined up, we've got a spreadsheet now about the wedding, we've got a guest list, all these things kind of jumped into life. Primarily because I thought I had forever to get these things sorted, and hypothetically I don't. I'm fine, by the way. I'm not going anywhere. The podcast will survive, don't worry. So I thought I had all the time in the world, but with that letter coming through the mail, I suddenly got a really serious shot across the bow going, oh my God, like you may not have forever sort of thing, mate. You need to kind of get on with this. So, how does this align with your estate agency business? How does my dodgy ear align with your estate agency business? So, let me give you an example for, let's say you are an estate agent in Slough. Everyone loves Slough. So, let's pick on there. And you're an estate agent, you're self-employed, you're doing pretty well. You're earning some good money, you're doing all right, sort of things, everything's okay. And then another estate agent in Slough comes on and launches the Slough podcast. And on the Slough podcast, they have local guests. They have the mayor of Slough come on. They have the PTA, for example, come on there. And then 2 weeks later, they write a book and it's called How to Move Home in Slough. And then the week after that, they launch a Facebook group called Slough Movers and Shakers and all about moving home in Slough sort of thing. And you think to yourself, darn, that should have been me. Effectively, that is exactly what we're talking about on today's podcast. It's about securing that digital real estate space because at some point, someone's going to do it. Someone is going to eventually is going to write a book called How to Move Home in Slough. Eventually, someone's going to launch a Facebook group saying how Slough home movers and shakers. Eventually, someone is going to do something where you think, oh my God, I've been thinking about doing that for the last 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and I haven't done it. And now they've done it, and I'm absolutely livid off the back of it. This is exactly what we mean with regards to securing your digital real estate. So trust me, you will kick yourself if you don't do it. So just to go through some of the examples of things you should be securing in your local town. So things like sponsorships, for example, so connections with the school. If you've got a strong connection with the school and you support their local events, for example, great. That's a nice sort of moat around your business that kind of protects you on that side, because you'll kind of get first refusal, you would have thought, from that school. Podcasts, we talked about then. I have talked to, over the last 6, 7, 8 months or so, I've said to loads and loads and loads of estate agents, you should be launching your own podcast. It's going to be a big thing for estate agency in the future. If someone else does it, you'll be absolutely livid. And how many do you think have done it? I think I can count on about 2 fingers, the people that have actually done it off the back of it. But I bet if someone else launched a podcast in their town tomorrow, they would be really, really annoyed and go, oh, Chris said to me like 6 months ago, I should be doing this, and I haven't done it. So I would be looking today at what digital real estate you can secure within your business. So that is going to be podcasts, it's going to be books, it's going to be connections with local charities, schools, local businesses. Anything that kind of cements you as the local agent in that area, you should be absolutely all over it in every single way. Because I assure you, someone else is out there, another agent is out there, they might even be listening to this podcast in your town, going, now's my time to launch my podcast. And trust me, being first isn't everything, but it certainly helps. So if you are looking at these things going, oh my God, I want to do a book about how to move a house, or oh, I want to do a podcast, or oh, I want to do a series on X, Y, and Z in my local area. Trust me, so do your competitors. And it comes down to who wants it more and who gets there first. So look at those digital assets that you can produce and get all over it. Effectively, what you're doing by doing that is building a moat around your business. So if you look at someone like Warren Buffett, no, I mean, who thought we were talking about Warren Buffett today? He'll look at investing businesses with moats around them. So, for example, Coca-Cola. Nothing tastes like Coca-Cola, so therefore they've got a moat around their business. Apple Computers, they've got a really big ecosystem. It's very hard to kind of go up against those guys. They have got a moat around their business. If someone wants to join the estate agent consultancy world and sort of compete against me, let's say, without sounding too black and white about it, good luck. You've got to do a podcast that appears twice a week. By the point of you guys watching this and listening to this, you'll be having a Facebook group. You've got awards. You've got mastermind events. You've got 2 best-selling books. You've got video content. Yeah, best of luck keeping up with that. I've done that to secure a moat around my business so that if anybody wants to kind of compete and come into the space, great, come on into the space, but the bar is pretty high because we all do this sort of stuff. So that is how you should be looking at in your business as well. So look at what your kind of plans are for 2025. Look at what you think to yourself, I should be doing this and I should be doing that, and jump on it sooner rather than later. Trust me, you'll be kicking yourself if someone does it before you. So as a little sort of Brucey bonus on the end of today's podcast, so as I alluded to then, we have a Facebook group which launched over Christmas this year, and we do quite a lot of content which is exclusive to that Facebook group. And one of the videos, which I'm literally recording after this, so I know it'll be online by that point, is how to launch your own podcast. It does a quick kind of behind the scenes with regard to what you need microphone wise, what you should talk about, who you should talk to, where you upload it to on a technical aspect, and how that then gets out on the different platforms, etc. So that is there. That is literally free of charge. So if you're thinking yourself, actually, I want to launch a podcast, for example, in 2025, you pretty much not got any excuse whatsoever, because everything is there showing you exactly how to do it. So we're here to support you in whatever those kind of endeavors might be for 2025. But trust me, you want to get all over this as soon as you possibly can before your competition does. Right, let's leave it there. Hope you've had a fantastic day. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. I will see you on the next one.